joining me today. Today we are going to be making this beautiful crochet shawlette that is worked side to side. So we're going to start in one skinny side and work our way through to the middle and then decrease back down to the other skinny side to make this beautiful shawlette. The body and the edging are worked simultaneously, and it wears so beautifully. You can wrap it around a couple of times or tie it in the front. So many different ways you can wear a skinny little shawlette like this. You're going to be needing one ball of Be So Fine yarn, which is fingering weight bamboo, and we're going to be using a size E4 or 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Make sure you go to my website to download the free pattern, which includes this chart, and we're going to work from the chart in the video today. Let's get started. For the shawlette, I used Be So Fine yarn in colorway Parisian Bordeaux, and for the demonstration today, I'm going to be using colorway Lilac Memories. And just to recap the way we are making this project, we're starting at this short little skinny end, and we're going to increase in the body pattern while simultaneously adding this edging all the way across until we get to the middle of the shawl, or shawlette, whatever you want to call it. And then when we get to this maximum width, we're then going to start the second chart, which will show us how to decrease in the body pattern as we go. And we'll decrease along while working our edging at the same time until we get back to the original amount of stitches that we started with, and then we'll fasten off here. You can download the pattern plus the chart at the link in the video description. That link will take you to my website where you can get the pattern and the chart. And for today's demonstration, I'm going to show you, we're going to follow along on the chart, but if you prefer line by line instructions, you can get that as well when you go to the pattern. We're going to start by tying our yarn onto our crochet hook, and we're going to chain 13 times. Okay, we've got chain 13. And now if you come back over here, we started here, we chained 13, then we're going to come back and we're going to single crochet into the 6th chain from our hook. So we're going to count back, not the loop on the hook. We're going to count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and single crochet into that 6th chain from the hook. Chain 2. We're going to skip 2 chains, skip 1, 2, and double crochet in the next chain. Double crochet is yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that specified chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a double crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, skip 3 chains, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into the last chain. Yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's one of the double crochets. We're going to do a double crochet 2 more times in the same chain. Okay, and this is what the end of row 1 should look like. Okay, we're ready to begin row 2. Row 2 is going to begin with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets into the first stitch. So we'll start that with a chain 3, turn our work, and work 2 double crochets into that same stitch. Okay, and then if we refer back here, we're going to chain 3 and double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet. So we'll chain 3, and in the next double crochet we're going to work double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Chain 2. Okay, now we're going to refer back to the chart. We did that chain 2. Now we're going to work a 2 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 2 times, then a 2 double crochet cluster, chain 1, double crochet, all in that chain 5 ring that we worked in the middle of the first row. So we'll come back here and we've got that chain 5 ring. We're going to work a 2 double crochet cluster, yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We now have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over, insert your hook in the same ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We now have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook, and that's a 2 double crochet cluster. We're going to chain 3, work another 2 double crochet cluster into the ring, chain 3, another 2 double crochet cluster in the ring, then we'll finish it up with a chain 1 and a double crochet in the same ring. Okay, and that's what the end of row 2 should look like. We're now facing upside down because as we're working these flower petal edging, we're going to be working down and up and around. So at the end of row 2, we're actually looking at the beginning of our work. But then when we start row 3, we'll come back up and around and be on top of row 2 again. So this is what the end of row 2 should look like. Okay, so row 3 is going to begin down here. We're going to work around in those chain spaces in the clusters, and then we're going to come back and work row 3 on top of row 2. Okay, so we're going to start here with a chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, all in that first chain 1 space. Chain 3, turn our work. We're going to work a double crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 2, and single crochet in that same chain 1 space. Now in the next chain 3 space, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and single crochet, all in that same chain 3 space. In the next chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and single crochet, all in that same chain 3 space. Now we'll chain 4, and you'll see now we're positioned to work row 3 into the top of row 2. So now we will double crochet in the top of the first double crochet we see, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, skip the next 2 double crochets and work 3 double crochets in the last double crochet. And this is what the end of row 3 should look like. Okay, row 4 begins with a chain 3, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. We're going to chain 3, skip 2 double crochets, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, all into the next double crochet. And that's row 4. So we'll pick up our work and chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets into that first stitch, chain 3, skip the next 2 stitches, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet in the same double crochet. And that's what the end of row 4 should look like. Okay, we'll refer back to the chart now for row 5. We're going to chain 6 and double crochet in the first double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, skip 2 stitches and work 3 double crochets into the last double crochet. So I'm going to pick up my work now and repeat what I just said, starting with a chain 6, turn our work, double crochet into that first double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, skip the next 2 stitches and 3 double crochets in the last stitch. And that's what the end of row 5 should look like. Row 6 begins with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets all into the first stitch. We're going to chain 3, skip 2 double crochets, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet in the next double crochet. And that's all we do for row 6. So let's grab our yarn, chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets into that first stitch, chain 3, skip the next 2 double crochets, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, and double crochet in the next double crochet. And that's what the end of row 6 should look like. Row 7 begins with a chain 8 and single crochet into the 6th chain from your hook, chain 2, and then double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and 3 double crochets in the last. So now pick up my work and do exactly what I just said. So we're going to start with a chain 8. And we're going to single crochet into the 6th chain from our hook. Remember, we don't count the loop on our hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those 5 skipped chains become a chain 5 ring. Chain 2, and we'll turn our work and double crochet in the next double crochet, which would be the last double crochet worked on the previous row. Chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and 3 double crochets in the last stitch. Whoops. And that's what the end of row 7 should look like. Okay, row 8 is beginning with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets in the same stitch, skip 2 stitches, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the same stitch. Then in the chain 5 ring from the previous row, we're going to do a chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 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 2 double crochet cluster. So everything that you see in green is part of row 8. That's why I color coded the chart, so that it would really help you understand where the beginning and end of each row is, because it gets a little confusing around the flower edging. So we'll repeat that now in our yarn and words. Chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets in the first stitch, chain 3, skip the next 2 stitches, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3. In the next double crochet, we're going to work double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Okay, so now for the remainder of the row, we're going to be working in that chain 5 ring that we created on the previous row. So we're going to start with a chain 2 and work a 2 double crochet cluster in the ring. And then we will chain 3, 2 double crochet cluster in the ring 4 times. Okay, we should have a total of 5 2 double crochet clusters in the ring. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's correct. Okay, I'm going to set this down. And this is what the end of row 8 should look like. Notice that we are now facing the beginning of the work, not the top of the work like we do on all the other rows. So this is the same repeat now as row 2. Rows 1 through 6 was the repeat, or rows 1 through 6 were the repeat, and now rows 7 through 12 will be what we repeat throughout the increase section of the shawlette. So this is the end of row 8. We'll get a close-up of that and then we'll move on to row 9. Okay, row 9, or let's see, is this row? That's right. Okay, we ended row 8 here at the end of the green. Row 9 is going to begin by single crocheting into the chain 6 loop from row 5. And that's what bolts the flowers down so they don't flop around so much. And I'll show you on the yarn, it'll make more sense. So we're going to single crochet down into that chain 5 space on row 5. Then we're going to single crochet into our first chain 5 space, chain 3 space from the previous row, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2 single crochet, all in that chain 3 space. Then in each of the next 3 chain 3 spaces, we're going to do single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, single crochet. So repeat that all the way across. Chain 4, double crochet, chain 3, across all the double crochets until we get to the end of the row and work 3 double crochets in the last stitch. So I'm going to show you that on the yarn, and you see we are now again facing the bottom side of our work, which is where we want to be, so that we can single crochet into that chain 6 space from a couple rows previous first. So we're going to single crochet there and then come back around and work petals into these chain 3 spaces. So I'm going to pick up my work, single crochet, let's see, get the yarn facing properly. Okay, we're going to single crochet into the chain 6 space from a few rows previous, then turn our work, and now working in our chain 3 spaces of the previous row, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and single crochet. In the next chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and single crochet. We'll do that again in the next chain 3 space. And the next chain 3 space. Okay, we should have 4 petals, and we'll count back here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to move on with our chain 4. And we're ready to work into the top of the previous row now. So we'll start with a double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, and we'll repeat this across to the end and work 3 double crochets in the last double crochet. Okay, and this is what the end of row 9 should look like. And we've now worked a full repeat of our gorgeous floral edging that's worked simultaneously to the body of this shawl. It's actually a shawlette because of the size of it, but if you wanted to make it larger, you could absolutely make this a full-sized shawl as well. And if you didn't want to continue on with the increases in the body, you could just pick a fixed size for this mesh and add the edging onto it, and you could make this any size of a wrap or a scarf as well. So that's the end of row 9. We'll get a close-up of that and then move on. Okay, let's follow along on the chart first for row 10. We're going to start with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets into the first stitch. skip 2 stitches, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double in the next, chain 3, double in the next, chain 3, and then in the last double crochet we're going to work double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. So now we'll follow along and do that exact same thing with the yarn and our words. We're going to chain 3, turn our work, and 2 double crochets into the first double crochet. Chain 3, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, and in the last double crochet work double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Okay, and this is what the end of row 11 should look like. Okay, row 11 begins with a chain 6, double crochet in the first double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double, chain 3, double, chain 3, double, chain 3, and then we'll work 3 double crochets into the last double crochet. So now we will repeat what I just said for row 11 with our yarn and our words, and we're going to start with a chain 6, turn our work, double crochet in the first double crochet, whoops, let's start that over again. Chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, and we'll work through chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet all the way across to the end where we'll work 3 double crochets into the last stitch. Okay, and this is what the end of row 11 should look like. Okay, we're ready for row 12 now. Row 12 begins with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets into the first stitch. We're going to chain 3, skip 2 double crochets, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double 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 in the next. So now we'll repeat that with our yarn and our words. And this is row 12, chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets in the first stitch, chain 3, skip the next 2 stitches and double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, whoops, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, double crochet in the next, chain 3, and double crochet in the next. This is what the end of row 12 should look like. Rows 7 through 12 complete the repeat of this increasing portion of the pattern. And I'll show you on here. Rows 7 through 12 are what we will be repeating throughout the increasing side. So no matter how big you make your shawl or shawlette, you'll be repeating rows 7 through 12. which means you'll be adding 2 more repeats of the chain 3 double crochet as you go along. So for every 6 row repeat that you do, you'll be adding 2 more of these chain 3 double crochet sections in the mesh, and each of those 6 row repeats will create 1 flower petal edging. So you want to continue on repeating rows 7 through 12 for as large as you want your shawl or shawlette to be, and in the next section of the video I'm going to show you how to read the pattern for decreasing back down to the beginning size. So we're going to go from small to big, and then we'll go from big to small, all the meanwhile continuing on with our simultaneous flower edging. The good news is you've learned almost absolutely everything you need already by just learning the increase section of this pattern, because the edging is going to be exactly the same. So the 6 row repeat is going to be exactly the same. The only difference is on the 2 rows where we did increases before, we're now going to do decreases instead. And I'll show you on here. So remember it's a 6 row repeat, so on rows 2 and 4, we're going to do 2 double crochet together instead of adding a double crochet chain 3 double crochet into 1 stitch. We'll do that double crochet 2 together over 2 stitches, and then we'll repeat that again on rows 8 and 10 and so on and so forth. So the 2 rows that you did increases of that 6 row repeat, those 2 rows will now have a decrease, and otherwise it's exactly the same pattern for the increase and decrease section. So we'll start now on the first row of the decrease pattern with a chain 8, and we're going to single crochet into the 6th chain from our hook to create that chain 5 ring, chain 2, turn our work, and double crochet in the next double crochet, and the remainder of the row is to, same as before, on all row 1s or row 7s, however you want to call them, we're going to chain 3 and double crochet in the next double crochet all the way across until we get to the end and work 3 double crochets into the last double crochet. Okay, so that looks the same as it does in the previous rows. A row 1 was never an increase row, so it's not a decrease row now either. It's just a simple pattern row where we're adding that chain 5 ring so that we can work the flower petal on the next row. So now we'll start with the second row, which is chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets in that first stitch, chain 3. Oh, now this one we're going to be doing, this is a decrease row, so I'm going to set it down real quick. This row 2 starts with a chain 3, 2 double crochets in the first stitch, then we're chain 3 and double crocheting across until we're right at 2 last double crochets, and we're going to chain 3 and double crochet those 2 together instead of working them separately. Now, since I'm just doing a demo size of the shawlette and you'll be doing a full size, it might be helpful to place a stitch marker at the end of your row so that you remember where the last 2 double crochets are, so you'll know which 2 to decrease together. Okay, I've reached the end of my row, so I'm going to double crochet 2 together over these 2 double crochets, and that starts with a yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. That's a double crochet 2 together. Very similar to a 2 double crochet cluster, but the difference being that a 2 double crochet cluster, both legs of the 2 double crochets are worked in the same place, and over a 2 double crochet together, they're worked over 2 separate places to create a decrease. So now we're ready to begin this portion here, which is the end of row 2 and working of the 5 petals, the beginning of the 5 petals in that chain 5 space. So we'll start with a chain 2 and a 2 double crochet cluster in the chain 5 space. And now we're going to work a chain 3, 2 double crochet cluster in the ring 4 times. Okay, so we have our 5 2 double crochet clusters in the chain 5 ring, and we've now completed row 2 of our decrease section of the shawlette. And just like any other row 2, we're positioned towards the bottom or beginning of the shawl, and as we work our next set of flower petals, which we'll get to that. We'll get to that in the next row. But we're positioned down here, and on the next row we'll come back up and around and be at the top of the previous row again. So this is what the end of the row 2 of the decrease section should look like. Row 3 of the decrease section is worked identically to a row 3 anywhere else because it is not a decrease row. So we're going to start by single crocheting into the chain 6 space in the couple rows below. So we'll single crochet into that space, then turn our work, and working in our first chain 3 space, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, and single crochet all into that same space. In the next chain 3 space, we'll work single crochet, chain 2, whoops, chain 2, 2 double crochet cluster, chain 2, single crochet, and we'll repeat that in the next 2 chain 3 spaces. Chain 4, and now we're positioned on the top of our previous row, and we're ready to work a double crochet into that first decrease stitch, and then we'll work chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet all the way across until we get to our last set of double crochets, and we'll chain 3, double crochet in the last double crochet. Okay, and this is what the end of row 3 of the decrease section should look like. Row 4 is also a decreased row, so it was rows 2 and 4 that changed. Rows 2 and 4 in the increase section had increases. Rows 2 and 4 in the decrease section have decreases. The rest of the 6-row repeat is identical on both sides. So on row 4, we're going to start with a chain 3 and 2 double crochets into the first stitch. Chain 3, skip 2 stitches, double crochet in the next. We're going to chain 3, double crochet in the next, all the way across our row until we get to the last 2 double crochets on the previous row. And we're going to chain 3 and work a 2 double crochet together over those 2 stitches. If you think you're going to forget where they are, it would be a great time to place a stitch marker there. So let's get started on our row 4 of the pattern. And we're going to chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets into that first stitch, chain 3, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches and double crochet in the next double crochet. Now would be a good time to make sure you know where the last 2 double crochets on your row are. Mine are right here, depending on how wide your rows are at this point. You might want to put a stitch marker so you don't forget. So I'm going to chain 3 and double crochet in the next double crochet all the way across until we get to the last 2. And we'll chain 3 and work a 2 double crochet together over those 2 stitches. So yarn over our hook, insert our hook in the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. We've now decreased from 2 double crochets to 1 on row 4 of the decrease pattern. And this is what the end of row 4 of the decrease pattern should look like. Row 5 of the decrease pattern starts with a chain 6 and double crochet in the first stitch. Then we're going to chain 3 and double crochet in each stitch across until we get to the last stitch, and we'll work 3 double crochets in the last stitch. So we'll come over here. Row 5 has been exactly identical on both sections of the project because row 5 was neither an increasing nor decreasing row. So we're going to chain 6, turn our work, and double crochet into that first stitch. Chain 3 and double crochet in the next double crochet. No matter where you are in your work, you want to chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet all the way across this row until you get to the last set of 3 double crochets, and we'll chain 3 and double crochet 3 double crochets into the last double crochet. Okay, and that's what the end of row 5 of the decrease section should look like. Row 6 of the decrease section starts with a chain 3, 2 double crochets in the first stitch, chain 3, skip 2 double crochets and double crochet in the next. Then we're going to chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet across the remainder of the row. Chain 3, turn our work, 2 double crochets into the first double crochet, chain 3, skip the next 2 double crochets and work a double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet, and repeat that across the entire row. And those are the 6 rows that you will be repeating now for the remainder of the decrease section of this shawl. Remember, it was a 6-row repeat for increasing and then a 6-row repeat for decreasing. All the while we work this beautiful 6-row repeat of the flower edging simultaneously with our mesh shawl. We work side to side from this side all the way, so we went from skinny to large and then back down to skinny. I'll show you again on the full size shawl. we started skinny, and we increase out to the center, and then working that 6-row repeat throughout till we get to the size we need for the middle, and then we'll work the decrease section, the 6-row repeat of decreases, all the way until we get back to the very beginning. All the links you'll need for this project will be available in the video description. Links on where to purchase Be So Fine yarn, and links to download the free pattern and chart on my website. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos.